So if you missed my last video where I talked about simplicity patterns that are 5 pattern pieces or less, this one is going to be Mccall patterns, which are 5 pattern pieces or less. Now, I didn't say this is a known notion, but I am giving you the patterns that are 5 pattern pieces or less. So go ahead and grab your notebook, get a snack, and definitely get something to drink and come on back. So let's go ahead and talk about the Mccall patterns that are 5 pattern pieces or less. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the Mccall's patterns. Now, it is a lot of them because Mccall's just happens to be one of those brands that a lot of us sew outside of simplicity. So the big 4 ones that many of us tends to sew are your Simplicity, your Mccall's, your Butterick, and your Vogue. Now this is part 2, the Mccall patterns. It's a lot, so I'm going to definitely tell you to grab a snack and something to drink. If you need to do something, just let me play. You can always come back. I will be highlighting individuals who have sewn a lot of these patterns. So stay with me because I'm going to try to keep this entertaining as much as possible, like you guys know I normally do on every video. All right, so to try to keep this short, sweet, and to the point, let's go ahead and get into the first one, being all of these are Mccall's, so we're just going to say the number 8093, which is a Mrs. Top. This is out of print. So view A, which is, of course, I said it's the top. So view A, B, and C, all 3 views are all 5 pattern pieces, okay? Now, I love from Coco May Style, she did this pattern as part of her Sewn magazine. She was in Sewn magazine with her husband that year, and she did this top. But she also did the pants. Now, the pants are not 5 pattern pieces. I believe the pant pattern that she did was 8098, I think, but that is not 5 pattern pieces for that as well. But she looks lovely in this top. Once again, it's Coco May Styles. The pattern number is 8093. Moving over to the next pattern. So next up is 8095. This is another top pattern. View A and View C, they are both 5 pattern pieces. So View A is like your sleeveless, and then View C is the sleeves with the cuffs, and that is 5 pattern pieces. Yes, I counted all of these. Now, for this one, we had Robin from Stitches by Robin. She made this pattern and she looks very nice in this pattern with like the florals going on. So I thought this was super cute on a Robin. And then we also had Shatoka. She made this pattern as well. She made it in this nice print as well. She made it for a late night dinner. So both of them made this pattern, but once again, this pattern number is 8095. Just to give you that, 8095. Let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. So next up is 8096. This is a Mrs. Top pattern. So view A and B are your 4 pattern pieces there. Now this one, it says that you need some lace because it's a ruffled top. So just utilize that if you want to make this pattern. You can use view A lace, view B lace as well. All right. But once again, this is 8096. Moving over to the next pattern. So the next pattern is 8097. This is a skirt pattern. Now I made this pattern and I'll put my video up so you're able to see that as well and show you pictures as well. But view A, B, and C, all views are 3 pattern pieces. So view A, you have kind of like the ruffle is, I guess you could call it on top of the skirt. I forgot what it's called, but it's like exposed. That's what it's called, exposed. And then view B and view C are basically sewn into the skirt. It's not exposed, like that top portion is not exposed at all. A few people made the skirt. So first up is Ashley. I was able to meet her at the South Florida Frock Tale back in 2023. Ashley made this one and she made view A where you have that exposed. She's, did it and kind of like this polka dot. So she was feeling like Cruella de Vil in her 101 Dalmatians, baby. Yes, so she did that. Look amazing, amazing in her. So I do appreciate this one as well to see other views that was made. We also had Amy, which is Smitten with Stitches. She made this one as well for the nice, lovely, breezy Florida days that we have here in Florida. She made view A as well. So I like this one, but she made this one for Minerva. So she has a complete Minerva profile that you could see on Minerva, all the details of her make, okay? And of course, you guys know that I made this one. I have a full sew along for this one on the channel. Actually, I did not do a sew along for this one. I just did a pattern review for this one, and I really love it. So I think it was view B is the view that I did, and I just did one tier. I was, one tier and that's it because I didn't need it very long. I'm only 5'6", for those who keep thinking that I'm 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", because of the way my daughter take my photos. But your girl is only 5'6". I'm not very tall, but patterns are drafted for my height. It's average height is what a lot of people tell me. But standing up to next to some of you guys that's tall, 5'8", 5'9", we're not going to talk about, who, but, she's 5'9", and standing up next to her, I would feel super duper short. Okay. But listen, height is nothing but a number. Okay. Just like Aaliyah said, age ain't nothing but a number. Height is nothing but a number as well. All right. But let's go ahead and get over to the next pattern. Next up, we have 8100 or 8100 for those who don't like the hundredth words. Okay, so it's 8100. This one is a top, short, and pant pattern, a cord pattern. So view A, B, and C, which is all views, it's 5 pattern pieces. That's excluding the casing. So the casing don't count. And what I'm saying is a pattern. Like, come on, buttonhole guys don't count. Casings do not count. Facings, I mean, like if you have to cut it out of fabric, you get it. But if you have to just cut it out of interfacing, it doesn't count. But this one is 5 pattern pieces, okay? It is out of print. You will have to get it in PDF if you're looking for this one as well. All right, but once again, it's 8100. Or 8100. 8100, 8100. You get my drift. All right, next up, 8102. This is a top and skirt pattern. It is out of print, but view C, the skirt is 4 pattern pieces, y'all. 4 pattern pieces. That's it, okay? So I do like this skirt, but like, to be honest with myself, where am I wearing it to? I have this pattern. I can see myself wearing this on a vacation. What y'all think? Okay. But anyway, it's 8102. Moving over to the next one is 8109. And this one is a dress pattern. Of course, it is out of print. If you want this pattern, you need to get it in PDF or find it on eBay, Etsy, or Amazon. Our 3 cousins, eBay, Etsy, and Amazon. I mean, you have on Amazon, I should say, but then you have our 2 cousins, eBay and Etsy. Okay. But this is 8109. View A is 4 pattern pieces. View B and C, those are 5 pattern pieces. Okay. Now listen up, y'all. It was a lot of people who sewn this pattern. First, let's start off with Princess. Okay. So Princess and the Bobbin on Instagram, she did this one. She looks amazing in this purple, if I do say so myself. She had a little fun in this one because it was the color of the year when she did this, which was back in 2022. But yes, Princess from Princess and the Bobbin did this pattern. Next up, we have Christy from Created by Christy. She did this pattern. She, I think it was view B that she did for her pattern. But of course, you guys could go to Instagram, see it for yourself. But yes, Christy from Created by Christy did this pattern as well. Next up, we have Cree. Cree did this pattern in this nice buttery red Ponte knit. Yes, I love that. That red looks really good on her. She did it for Valentine's Day. Go Cree. Okay, girl, I see you. And last up, we have Keisha from by K&W, her initials, okay? Keisha did this one, but she also made a jacket to go with it. You have to see that jacket that she created in this nice purple velvet, okay? I love that on Keisha, okay? Like, if you don't know, Keisha be styling her pieces, like, anyway, not to get off on a tangent, but Keisha looks good in this one. Okay, so that's by underscore KNW on Instagram. Let's go ahead and get over to the next pattern. Next up, we have 8112, and this one is the top pattern. Of course, you guys know it is out of print. View A and B is 4 pattern pieces, and then view C is 5 pattern pieces because you have that neckline, or neckband, I should say, and then you have your cuffs, okay? So that's what, the cuffs is what's making it 5 pattern pieces for view C, all right? But once again, this is 8112. Moving over to the next pattern, which is 8118, okay? Which is a pair of shorts, pants, and a belt. I guess you could make this as a skirt too. View A is a skirt, okay? So even though the description does not say skirt, you have your skirt, which is view A. All right, so view A, the skirt is 3 pattern pieces. View B, which are your shorts, is 4 pattern pieces. And then view C, which are your pants, is 5 pattern pieces. But one thing I want to tell you is this. The pants, if you decide not to have butt pockets or ass pockets, whichever one you want to say, view C can become a 4 pattern piece. Because, I mean, here's the thing. Yes, it's great to have those pockets for your phone, but depending on the fabric, do you really want pockets on your butt? Or do you just want those inseam pockets on your side, like side seam pockets, okay? So just be mindful of where you putting your pockets at, okay? It isn't easy to sew pattern, and several people have done this, but I'm going to keep it down to 3. First up, I'm going to say Steph. Steph is a seamless seamstress, okay, on Instagram. I love this on her. She did the pants, which is, what did I say? View C. Yeah, View C, the pants. And on her, I love this gingham, black and white gingham. It's gingham, but many of you guys will say checker or plaid. So I'm just going to say all 3 to be on the safe side with all of you, okay? But I love this on her. Isn't it cute? Okay, I might be biting, but I love this on her. I'm just going to put it there. Okay, I might be biting this, but I love this on Steph, all right? Next up, we have Martika. Martika made this one. She did the shorts, which is view B on the pattern, and she did it for summertime. I mean, like, I know everyone does not wear shorts, but shorts is a thing for the summertime. And depending on where you stay, now I stay in Florida, it's summer all year, basically, except for like 2 months of the year, which is January and February. It normally gets cold during that time frame. Okay, it's cold right now. Like, it is 27 degrees today as I'm filming this. Okay, so we're not going to talk about why is it cold in the South right now? Okay. But anyway, it's Martika from Martika J Makes on both Instagram as well as on YouTube. Next up is Bertha, aka Ashley. Okay. Made by Bertha. I had a pleasure of meeting her at South Florida Frocktail in 2023. So Bertha / Ashley, whichever one you want to call her. Me, I call her Bertha, but she made the shorts, and she made it in this nice, lovely leather, okay, from Joann's. I love this on her, and to pair it with an animal print jacket. Okay, Bertha know what she was doing. But anyway, this is 8118. Moving over to the next pattern, it's 8130. Now, I mean, okay. So it's 8130. View D is 3 pattern pieces, and view E is 4 pattern pieces. Now, to be honest with you, I have this pattern in my stash, and when my daughter, I should say, because, you know, I put baby girl to work last year in 2024 when we was thinking of doing this video, we both was taken away how this pattern was less than 5 pattern pieces. Don't ask me, ask the people who drafted this pattern, okay? But this is 8130. Moving over to the next pattern, which is 8138. Okay, so 8138, y'all know who made this pattern. I only need to say one person and one person only. But first, let's talk about how view A, B, and C. So all views for this pattern are 4 pattern pieces. It's excluding the interfacing for that. But you know, Aunt Anita, okay? Anita from Anita by Design on YouTube and on Instagram. She made this pattern look fabulous. Like, y'all know, Aunt Anita, she never missed. She never missed with styling, profiling. Y'all know. Okay, listen, I don't need to say much about Aunt Anita. I love me some Aunt Anita. I met Anita during Mimi G's last conference. That was her final conference. I met Anita back in like I think it was 2016. She is amazing. If you have not met Anita from Anita by Design, you have to meet her one day. You have to meet her one day. So put that on your bucket list to meet Miss Anita from Anita by Design. She is a lovely woman, okay? All right, so moving over to the next pattern. Next up is 8152. Yeah, okay. Now, at first, I was thinking like view A definitely is 5 pattern pieces or less. That is 5 pattern pieces, but view B as in boy, on the other hand, is not 5 pattern pieces. Okay, so it's view A, which is the tie top, which is 5 pattern pieces. Now, if you are full bust, your tatas may stick out, poke out a little bit. But isn't that what you going for with this pattern? Okay, let me stop. All right, but Sasha from Sasha Sewing, she did this pattern. I like the fact that she did a take on Ankara fabric for her top, which is 5 pattern pieces for that. And then what she did, she had to do a full bust adjustment. Like I said, for our girls that's full bust that, you know, have a lot going on at the top, you may have to do an FBA for yours. So just so you know, this pattern is 5 pattern pieces for view A. Moving over to the next pattern, which is 8158. This is I would say this is like a learn to sew pattern. Of course, y'all know this was a reissue pattern. I have a whole video back in 2020. I'll put it up here so you're able to see when I said a lot of these patterns for Mccall's were repeat patterns. This was like the summertime of 2020. I'll post it so you're able to see that video. If you're interested, you can see what the replica of this pattern was, okay? But it's 8158. View A is 4 pattern pieces, and then, which is the top. View B and C are 5 pattern pieces, and then view E and F is 2 pattern pieces, okay? So this whole pattern, you could definitely get and basically make you a whole wardrobe with this one pattern, okay? Yes. Okay, so you can do that with this pattern, and I love this pattern. I have this pattern, y'all. I just haven't made it up, all right? But it's 8158. Next up is 8159. And view A and B are 4 pattern pieces. View C is 2 pattern pieces because it is the skirt. And then view D and E, depending on, it doesn't even matter. It's just length variations. It's 3 pattern pieces. So you can make view D as shorts. You can make view E as pants, however you want to do it, but it's 3 pattern pieces. So this one is another wardrobe builder or wardrobe staple pattern. Lifestyle wardrobe for those who sew butterick pattern. You know, if you know, you know. But every single view on this one is 5 pattern pieces or less. But once again, it's 8159, also a reissue pattern from 2020. Moving over to the next one, it's 8160. And this one is, of course, a top, a dress, shorts, and pant pattern, another wardrobe builder. It is also a learn to sew level 1. So Mccall's has like level 1 through level 3 learn to sew. As you get more skills, like level 2, you'll be dealing with more of like your buttons. No, I think level 2 is more of like interfacing, as well as zippers. And then level 3 is more like buttons, buttonholes, and things of that nature. Okay, so Mccall's have that for Learn to Sew. You just need to click on Mccall's and then try to find that Learn to Sew. If you're just trying to learn to sew, I would say if you have less than 2 years in, try to do Learn to Sew level 1. And then as you start seeing zippers and wanting to do zippers, then go to your level 2. I would not skip to level 2 being less than 2 years into sewing. That's just my take, but do what you do. You know what you want. All right, so view A and B are 5 pattern pieces, and then view C and D, which is your shorts or pants, are 2 pattern pieces. You got front, back, and a elastic casing. Like, come on. All right, now my girl Shantae from Sewing for My Sanity, aka 5 Feet of Fire. All right, she did this pattern not once but twice. Okay, so she did this in Cara fabric. Okay, and then she turned around and did it in like the sequin fabric. Okay, like Shantae. All right, not Roxanne, but Shantae. All right, so she did this pattern. Look amazing in it. Once again, it's Shantae from Sewing for My Sanity. All right, let's go ahead and get into the next pattern, which is 8165. This is a very loose fitting V-neck dress or jumpsuit. All right, so view D, which is the jumpsuit with the elastic at the bottom, or hem, I should say, is 4 pattern pieces. That's it. That's the only one that's 4 pattern pieces, okay? But once again, this pattern is 8165. Moving over to the next pattern. Next up is 8168. Boom, this one right here. Now view A, which are your shorts, that's 4 pattern pieces. And then view B is also 5 pattern pieces. Now this is a updated version of, I believe it's 7726 is the old pattern number. I have both patterns. That's how I know it was a reissue, reprint. 7726. Yes, that's the pattern number. But that's how I know it was a reissue and all that good stuff, because Brittany J. Jones did a sew along for this one when it was 7726. Okay. Now, Cherie from Cherie Thomas 30. She did this pattern in collaboration with myself when I did hashtag so much colors. I think it was back in 2022, 2023. So with this one, Cherie is from the Bay Area like myself. So she had a take on completely color blocking, and I love it for her as well. But yeah, once again, this is 8168. Moving over to the next pattern. Next up is 8197. So I did this pattern. I like this pattern, but I since then gave it away. I did a complete pattern review, which I will put it up so you're able to see this. This is another pattern that I chose for hashtag so much color back in 2022. I did this in collaboration with Tequila from True Love Designs for this one. So yeah, I did this one and I like it, but you know, I had to give it away. And the reason why is because that bodice area was a little too big. Okay. So I would definitely say make a muslin for this one to test the bodice. Because one thing that I know, that anything that has like a baby doll top bodice portion always seems to be a little too big for me. And I'm saying this because I did another one that I did on live. Mo from Sketch So Mo, she did the sketch for it. I can't remember the pattern number, but I'll put it up so you're able to see that. She did the sketch for it, and then the next day I turned around and did the live. And you guys have not seen that because that bodice, baby, it was just way too big. It was gaping, and look, I needed to fix that. But once you sew that lining, you have to take it off and everything. So I had someone who was able to fit into that one, as is, no warranty. So that is my TED tip, you know, for the day of what to do if you have a baby doll dress or bodice or what have you, right? Make sure you do a muslin first before just sewing into the fabric. I was devastated, but it did not go to waste. It was someone that I gave it to. Okay. But once again, it's 81.97. View A is 5 pattern pieces. That's the sleeveless view, okay? Let's move over to the next pattern. Next up is 8205, which is Mrs. Skirts, okay? So all views, A, B, and C are all 5 pattern pieces. Now, view C is your color block, but you do not have to color block if you choose not to, okay? That's why we sew. We do what we want. That's why we sew. All right, so first up, Drew from So Drew. Also, she's on YouTube as well. She did this dress. Bam, she made it to her knees and kept it moving. She gave it that vintage look like she always do. All right, Drew. All right, next up, my girl Jo from So Very Jo. She did a take for Sew Magazine. It was more of kind of like a Heritage Month. So in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, she came back with it, all right? Now, you guys know my girl Jo is Puerto Rican and Dominican, so she did the flag, like, red, white, and blue. Why not? So yeah, she did a take on that, and doesn't she look good? Okay, Jo, we see you, girl. All right, so Jo did that. Next up is Rel from Rel Sews. She did a take on kind of like a half and half color block. That's why I wanted to show y'all this. Okay, so she upcycled the top. Rel is good for upcycling. Okay, and then she did kind of like a zebra print meets a what kind of print is that? It looked like both of them are zebra prints. Yeah, black and white, and then another one that's like in a different color, okay? So she did that. I like that on her, for real. But thank you, Rail, okay, for showing us this and highlighting this pattern. 8205 is that pattern number, all right? Let's move over to the next pattern. Next up is 8212. And this one is a dress, belt, hat, and mask pattern. It's an easy to sew pattern. I actually sewed this pattern, to be 100% honest with you. I did view C for this one. I did a full detail sew along on the channel, which I will put up here so you're able to see that. And of course, any of the sew alongs or pattern reviews that I did, I will link to them directly in the description box below so you're able to get to those quickly. All right, but it's 8212. Now, for this one, view D, which is the belt, is 1 pattern piece, duh. View E, which is the hat, is 2 pattern pieces, and view F, the mask, is 1 pattern pieces, okay? And it comes in 3 different sizes. Now, the dress itself is not a 5 and below, okay? I know it's like, Rochelle, why you highlight this pattern and it's not the actual garment? My bad. But yeah, you can definitely see that. And like I said, I have a full sew along of this pattern. Once again, it's 8212. And this is the picture of what my dress looked like. And I just basically did, like, I put it on for Me Made May back in 2022. I have since worn that dress like once or twice since making it after Me Made May back in 2022. I don't wear it very often, but when I'm on vacation or I just want to throw it on to go somewhere real quick with the hub, I will definitely throw on this dress. It's still in my closet. All right, moving over to the next pattern. 8217. So this one was a real big hit for this pattern in 2022. And still today, 2025. Now we're in 2025. It was a big hit back in 2022, 2023. A lot of people made it. So view A is 2 pattern pieces, and then view B, which are your straps, which makes it 3 pattern pieces because of the straps for view B and view C. And basically, I like this one, but we had individuals who made it. First up is Dari. Dari, she made view C with the kind of like the tie straps. I like this on her. Yes, Dari. All right. Next up is Lorena. She did view C. I guess that was a popular view. Okay. View C was popular. She was popping off. So she just made this last year in 2024. So Lorena never miss. I have said that before. She never miss. She makes like almost every single Mccall pattern. At least like when a new collection drop, she normally pulls like at least 3 patterns from each collection to make, for that season. All right. Thank you, Lorena. All right, next up is Joe from So Very Joe. I like the fact that she took it into kind of like a color. She did like this nice, lovely bold print, and she paired it with a skirt. Just a simple pencil skirt. I love this on Joe. All right, and the hair is popping. All right. All right, but this is 8217 on Joe. Next up, you have Samantha from Classy Sassy Pearls. She did this one, but she did View B in a print. I'm liking the fact that a lot of people is doing this in print instead of just a solid color. Okay. Next up, gingham style. I didn't mean to say it like that, but yes, gingham style. And this is Eris from Sewing and More. She did this one. I like this on her. But now Eris did it more than once, okay? She did it a second time and went to the pumpkin patch. Yes, I know, only because I follow people, okay? We follow people on Instagram, a lot of people. But I like this on her for the gingham. Next up is Tamika. Tamika did it in like this Black History style fabric from Joann's. And I have this fabric. I made a purse with this fabric. She did View C with the ties. I like this on her for that Black History Radiance fabric that she chose for hers. And lastly, Nikki from So Nikki Sews. She did it in this paisley of fabric, and she paired it with like a, I think this was Montoya Mayo's pattern. I think. I don't want to say it wrong, but we're just going to focus on the top. She did the top, and I like the fact that she took the strap and wrapped it around her neck instead of just making it like just regular straps to go around your shoulders, okay? But once again, this pattern is 8217. If you don't have the pattern, get it on, if you're looking for paper pattern, eBay, Etsy, Amazon, like I already said, our aunts and our cousins, okay? Those three, aunts and cousins, two cousins, one auntie, auntie Amazon, and cousin eBay and Etsy. All right. But moving over to the next pattern, 8220. All right. 8220 is basically a top and mask pattern. View A, B, and C, which are your tops, are 4 pattern pieces. And then that mask, which is view D, is 1 pattern piece. Okay. Now, I have been meaning to get to this pattern, but it have felt me every single time. Okay. Now, I will say a couple of people have made this pattern, but once again, this is 8220. Moving over to the next pattern. Next up is 8240, okay? Now, this pattern is a top pattern, and view A is the only view. It's 5 pattern pieces, okay? It's an easy to sew pattern. Now, I like this pattern only because you could definitely make it in so many different fabrics and be good to go, all right? But y'all know that Lorena from Sew Lorena, she made this pattern, okay? Looks amazing. So she had to take on print, but then she also made it in a gray, okay? Double knit. So she did one in a solid and then one in a print, okay? Look, I tell y'all, Lorena don't be missing. Next up, we got 2 Robins also did this pattern. So Robin by Style and Seams, she made this pattern and she color blocked it. I love that color block on Robin, okay? And then we also have the other Robin, Robin from Stitches by Robin. She did this one as a Minerva post, okay? I like this camo on Robin, okay? Doesn't it look so good? So if you are looking at like what's the pattern for the pants, I'm just gonna say go over to Instagram to this post, but it's Simplicity 8378 is what she did for the pants. So if you want that whole look, just completely vibe. The top is Mccall'S 8240. The pants is Simplicity 8378. Go Miss Robin. I love this on her. Yes. All right, next up. Next up is 8244, which is a top and legging pattern. This was part of Sew Your View a few years ago, and like the list of people who actually did this pattern was crazy. Like, yeah, okay, it was crazy. But View C, the leggings, is 2 pattern pieces. 2, just 2. But let's get into some individuals who actually made this pattern. First up is Legionero. She made this pattern. She did a color block in the red, white, and black. Love this on her. And then she threw a hood on it. Okay, she threw a hood on it. I love this on Legionero. Next up is Jamara or So Jam. She did hers. She color blocked 3 colors as well, threw a hood on it. Now, well, first of all, when I say throw a hood on it, I believe one of the views actually has a hood to begin with, but the leggings is the one that's 2 pattern pieces, okay? Now, next up, we have Bird from Yoga Bird Sews. She did hers. And I like the fact that she paired the pants or leggings 2 different ways, one in a print and then one in a black. She did that. Love it on her. Next up, we have Jessica from the Fashionable Therapist. And she did that. I love the pink. Okay, I love that pink on her. Pink is her color for sure. But she also color blocked the leggings here in her photo. So I love this on Jessica. And the last person we have is Shantae, our 5 Feet of Fire, Sewing for My Sanity. Okay, so she did the top and the pants and she was posing for yoga. Okay, but once again, this pattern is 8244. Moving over to the next one is 8245. This one is I'm just going to say like a pajama loungewear style pattern. Now, for this one, view A and view B, okay? View A and view B are 2 pattern pieces. So just front and back. That's it. That's it. So this would be a good one to put in your wardrobe if you're looking for something quick and to the point, okay? Now, let's get into some individual who actually sewed this pattern. First up, Julie. Julie didn't make this just one time. She made this twice, okay? Not 1, but 2, okay? She was like, this pattern is so good. I need to not make it once, but let me make this bad boy again. So Julie made it first in this blue fabric, but then she also made it again in a red fabric, okay? Yes, I love this on Julie. Julie's my girl, the Created Curvy, all right? But anyway, let's get to the next one. Like I just said, Lorena Never Miss. Lorena made this one in a black fabric. Love this on Lorena. Lorena never miss. I tell y'all, she always picked like 2 to 3 patterns from each season to make, and she makes them very, very well. All right, that's Lorena. Next up, she didn't do it just once, but she did it twice in this paisley print, okay? So once again, this is Lorena. She did it in a black, but she also did it in this paisley fabric. Next up is my girl Chris from I Am Craft Therapy. She did it for her vacation to Hawaii. So I love this on her. She did it in like this knit fabric that has some florals in it. Look amazing. So yeah, Chris. I Am Craft Therapy. Moving over to the next pattern is 8248. And this pattern is a Mrs. Skirt pattern. It's like a pleated skirt pattern, to be honest with you. So all views A, B, and C, they are all 3 pattern pieces, okay? 3. Chris, okay? 3 pattern pieces. All right, so Marcy, from Marcy Camille, she did this pattern. I love this on her. Now, she had an inspiration photo for this one, which is here, and you can see that. And she just basically created the same thing. Now, if you're looking like, okay, what's that jacket pattern? It is Mccall'S 8011. She did that jacket, and she did the skirt. You could read it right here on what the pattern number is. And she got her inspiration from Pinterest, okay? I like to get a lot of inspiration from Pinterest, so utilize Pinterest, okay? It's just the Pinterest, okay? For inspiration, for sure. All right, let's get over to the next pattern. Next up is 8252. Now, this one was a scream when this pattern dropped. All right, it's 8252. Now, view A, which is the sleeveless option right here. That is 5 pattern pieces, okay? This one right here, sleeveless option, is 5 pattern pieces. Now, first up, Charlene from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs. She did this dress. She did it with the sleeves, okay? But let's talk about this print. Isn't it cute? I love this print on Charlene. But yeah, she did this pattern and looked fabulous in it. And it was part of her Make 9 2023. Next up is Roulette. So Roulette also did this and went on vacation in Belize for this one. She looks amazing in this orange, okay? And the beach. Like, I love this on her. All right. But once again, let's talk about this pattern, 8252. Moving over to the next pattern. Next up is 8253. Now, view A, right here, the sleeveless option, is 3 pattern pieces. View B, which is the one with the sleeves, is 4 pattern pieces. And also view C is also 4 pattern pieces. So just so you could see that one more time. View C is also 4 pattern pieces, okay? That's just one with the shorter sleeves, okay? View C right here is also 4 pattern pieces for this one. But once again, this pattern is 8253. Moving over to the next pattern is 8255. This is just the top pattern. Now, I mean, when I saw this pattern, I went ahead and picked it up strictly for view B. I still have not gotten around to it. But after picking it up, I was just like, this curved hem, I don't know. I don't know. The scalloped hem, I don't know. But it may look better on when you do it versus just looking at the front of the pattern. But view C is your sleeveless option, and it's 5 pattern pieces. All right. Let's move over to the next pattern, which is 8256. And 8256 is a level 1 learn to sew pattern. Now for this one, view A is 3 pattern pieces. View B, which is what the model is wearing, is 5 pattern pieces, along with view D, which is also 5 pattern pieces. And view C is 4 pattern pieces with the flutter sleeves, okay? But once again, this pattern is 8256. Moving over to the next one is 8257. I did this one. I did this pattern for hashtag Let's Sew Blue, which is a challenge done by Martika from Martika J Make. And I did it in this blue polka dot, which I'm going to put it up here, my video up here, so you're able to see it. And I'll share some photos with you guys. But just to get into this pattern real quick before I go off of what I need to talk about. So view C, which is that top, okay? It's like this fluttered top or whatever. I like it, but it's not for me. It's 5 pattern pieces. View D, which is the skirt, is 1 pattern piece. And then view E, which are your pants, are 2 pattern pieces. The pants gets a lot of wear from me, okay? A lot. I mean, a lot. So I need another, I basically need the pants 5 times. It's 2 pattern pieces. You got just your front and back. That's it. That's it. Like, super easy to sew. I didn't know how this pattern was going to look on me, being, you know, someone that has a lot of junk in her trunks, like no shade whatsoever. Didn't know how it was going to fit, but I do like this pattern. The pants, this is what it looks like on me. The pants, amazing. But that top, baby, I had every side boob hanging out for this top. My husband was like, you need to fix this. You need to fix that. When I was taking these photos with him, he was a hot mess taking my photos. And what you guys don't see through the photos is I had to tie it. I had to take these photos like 3 different times because things were hanging out, things were popping, you know, things was popping. Okay. So he was like, you sure you want to post? I was like, hey, I got to post these photos no matter what. So we made them do what it needed to do. All right. Once again, this pattern is 8257. Moving over to the next pattern. Next up is 8263. And this one is view A is 4 pattern pieces along with view D. So the shirt is 4 pattern pieces. I'm sorry, the hat, 4 pattern pieces. The shirt's 4 pattern pieces. And then view B is 5 pattern pieces. Don't look at view C because that's not even part of it. But A, B, and D are your views you want to look at. But once again, it's 8263. Moving over to the next one is 8271, which is a purse pattern or a bag pattern, I should say. View A is 4 pattern pieces. View C, which is kind of like that clutch, is 1 pattern piece. And then view D is 4 pattern pieces. Just to kind of give you guys the line art to this, what I'm talking about. View A, 4 pattern pieces. View C, the little wristlet, wallet, whatever you want to call it, 1 pattern piece. And then view D is 4 pattern pieces because it's color blocked. That's the only reason why. Now, Miro, she made this pattern. Love this. She color blocked it with the cheetah print on one side, print on another side. I've loved this from her. Now, if you are not following Miro, she does a lot of doll outfits. I love this for her. Okay, so go ahead and follow her on Instagram. All right. Once again, this pattern is 8271. Moving over to the next pattern is 8284. View A, just the top. That's it. This view right here is 5 pattern pieces. That's it. All right. Next up, 8287. View A is 4 pattern pieces. View D right here is 5 pattern pieces. Okay. Now it's just basically a Mrs. Top pattern. Easy to sew. That's why I'm telling you. All right. Once again, it's 8287. Next up is 8307. I did a complete sew along for this one. I'm going to say last year, but it wasn't last year. It was back in 2023. Brain was on 2024. We're no longer in 2024. We are now in 2025. While I'm filming this, we are in 2025. Okay. But I did this bag pattern full sew along for view D on the channel for Vlogmas 2023. It's 8307. I'll put the video up here so you're able to see that. 8307 is that number. Also with this one, you have view A. View A is 5 pattern pieces. View B is also 5 pattern pieces. And then view D, the view that I did, is 4 pattern pieces for this pattern. Okay. Once again, this is a bag pattern, 8307. Moving over to the next one is 8310. And 8310 is just basically a set of pillows. This is where your scrap fabric can come in use, okay? If you don't know, ask Will, okay? And I'll put his handle up here so you're able to see. He makes a lot of home decor things for like his bedroom and stuff like that. And he makes some garments as well. But if you don't know, like when it comes to Ankara fabric, how he will take scraps and make things with, ask Will. All right. First up, so view A, I should say view A, B, and C. Those are all 2 pattern pieces. View D, E, and F. Those are all 1 pattern piece. So this is a good pattern to have in your stash, okay? So it only comes in paper pattern. It does not come in PDF, all right? But once again, it's 8310. Next up is 8311. This is very similar to 8252. I'm just going to say that, put that spill right there, leave it where it's going to be at, all right? But this is a dress. View A and view B are both 5 pattern pieces. View C is 4 pattern pieces for this one, all right? Once again, it's 8311. Next up is 8327. This is a skirt pattern. View A, B, and C, which are all views, are 4 pattern pieces. Now, Miro from Miro.Giovanni, she did this pattern, okay? So let me show you what she did. She did this in a knit fabric in this orange. Looks good on her, okay? But once again, this pattern is 8327. Next up is 8329, and this is a swimsuit pattern. Many ladies did this, okay? Even though your girl have not made a swimsuit for herself. Now, have I bought one? I buy a swimsuit every year and go to the pool probably 2 to 3 times during the summertime. It's just too hot to sit in the pool in Florida, okay? When it's 100 degrees, I know. I just said, now, do I know how to swim? Absolutely. But come on, y'all know how we are. My hair, my back, my this, my that. Okay, it's hot. We make all the excuses. Now, we will sew a swimsuit, go to the pool, and then we be like, I don't want to get my hair wet. Why are we like this? But I digress. Okay, keep it moving. View A is 5 pattern pieces. View B is 3 pattern pieces. View C, the I think you could call them like bikini cut pants, or yeah, you get what I'm saying. Not pants, but shorts, panties, whatever. It's 3 pattern pieces, and view D is 2 pattern pieces for this one. Now, first off, let's talk about Shantae 5 Feet of Fire, aka Sewing for My Sanity. She didn't do this just once. I think she did this twice. Yes, she did. So she did, first, she did, I believe that's view D. View D the first time she made it, okay? And then, after she did that, she decided to utilize that same fabric, boom, and make it as a 2-piece, okay? Shantae. And she did this for National Bikini Day. I didn't even know it was a thing, okay? I didn't even know National Bikini Day was a thing, but now I know. Okay, she looks gorgeous in this, all right? But once again, this is Shantae, 5 Feet of Fire, aka Sewing for My Sanity. In addition, we have Eris from Sewing and More. She did this pattern as well. This pattern was also a Sew Your View, I think for the month of July 2023, if I remember correctly. But she gave us some pool action, okay? Next up, we also have Jamara from So Jam. And she did this one as Sew Your View as well. Yeah, she looks amazing. She did view D. Okay, I see you, girl. All right, but it's Jamara, So Jam. And last up, we have May. So May did this. I think May did this twice. All right, but she did this in this nice, lovely, buttery red because I want to say May's favorite color is red. If it's not, she looks really good in red. Okay? Once again, it's 83.29. And then last up, we have Tiffany from Tip Stitch. She did it for a pool party. And she also did this as part of Let's Sew Pink, which was a challenge hosted by Simplicity last year in 2023. So this is Tiff from Tip Stitch, Let's Sew Pink. All right. But once again, this pattern is 83.29. Moving over to the next pattern, which is 83.39. Now, this pattern is one that was, like a lot of people sewn this pattern, but I strictly took it down to like 2 or 3 people to feature. All right. So A, B, and C, that's all views, are 5 pattern pieces. Now, Mimi G did a sew along for this pattern. You can definitely check that out on her channel on YouTube. But first up, Tanya, just lovely living here on Instagram. She did this pattern. I love this on her. Okay. I love that print. Okay. I love that on her. Don't y'all think she looks so amazing in this print? Okay. And she went to a dance performance. Okay. I love this on her. All right. That's Tanya. Moving over to the next person is Raven. Okay. And Raven didn't make this dress just once. She made it twice. A double duty. All right. So first she made it in this pink, which was the shorter view that she did. And then she made it in this white ivory color in a longer view with the slit in the front. All right. She looks amazing in both views. But once again, this pattern number is 83.39. Moving over to the next one is 83.48. So it's a dress in a shrug pattern. Now view A, this view right here, that's 5 pattern pieces. View B, which is the dress, is 3 pattern pieces. View C is 4 pattern pieces. And then view D and E are also 4 pattern pieces. Okay, it's an easy to sew dress. Let's talk about this dress though. So for this one, we have many ladies sew this one. First up, my girl Steve from We See Style. Y'all know that. She got her fabric. She sourced her fabric from Hobby Lobby. That is a place I typically do not go in. Don't ask me why. It's just I do not work next to a Hobby Lobby. And Hobby Lobby is not close to my house. Now, it's closer to my old job, but not close enough for my new job. But I may take a walk through Hobby Lobby from time to time, okay? C's making me do it because I do love this fabric on her. But anyway, this is C's version of it. She has a complete review on her channel on YouTube at We See Style on YouTube. For those in the back who did not know, my girl C's name is We See Style. Okay, I'm not gonna say that again, y'all. Y'all know who C is. I say her name all the time. All right, so We See Style. She's one of my tall girls, okay? And if I stand right next to her, she'll make me look short like a kid. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. But this is C. She did this pattern. Also, Michaela. Yeah, Michaela. I almost forgot her name. Michaela. She did this one as well in this nice orange fabric. She looks amazing in it. I like this for her. Yes, okay. And then last up, May, okay? May the diva. I told you she looks good in red. Y'all just had to wait for it, okay? But she did this pattern as well. She did it as like a New Year's. I want to say she did it for Christmas, but also put it into New Year's of 2024. Doesn't she look good? Her husband, and her children looks good in red. I keep telling y'all, May don't play. And then last up, come on, Lorena. She did this pattern as well. Lorena never missed. I love this on her as well. So Lorena, check this out. She's over 50, and I did not know that because she be keeping it really, really young with her makes and everything. I love this for Lorena, okay? But once again, this pattern is 83.48. Moving over to the next patterns. Next up is 83.51. And this pattern is like a loungewear style pattern. Now, view D is the only view that's 5 pattern pieces, okay? View D. Now, LaShawn from Let's Get Social on Instagram. Let's Get Social on YouTube. So Sophisticated Design on Instagram. She made this and went out for a night brunch. Played some pool. Looks amazing on her. But I think she made this into a jumpsuit. She took the pants, and then I'm not sure. The top is Simplicity 9010. She did that for the top and then threw Mccall'S 83.51 onto the bottom. Now, one thing I want to mention, you do not have to use the same brand in order to hack a pattern or Franken pattern, okay? As you can see, LaShawn did 2 different patterns, 2 different brands. Simplicity 9010 for the top, and then Mccall'S 83.51 for the pants. So you can take a Butterick pattern and a McCall pattern and hack it and Franken pattern and do what it do. The only thing I'm going to mention when you do that is make sure you can use the same fabric when you do that, okay? As she showed you guys which 2 patterns she used, all right? But once again, this is Mccall'S 83.51, all right? Let's move over to the next pattern. Next up is 83.58. This is a wrap dress, okay? You could wrap it. You can wear the front, the back, the front, okay? Reversible. Now, for this one, you have View B. View B is 5 pattern pieces, okay? Now, we have a lot of YouTubers that did this pattern. First up is Sophia, the dock is halt. She did this one. I'm going to show you guys her YouTube video up here. I'm going to post her thumbnail here so you're able to see that. Julie from the Created Curvy also did this one on YouTube. She did a review of her take on this one. And of course, my girl C from We See Style, she did this one as well. So lastly, Raven also did this one from Raven Marine. She did this pattern as well. So you have many of YouTubers that you can check out their thumbnails and go to their channel. Now, I have not done this pattern because, I mean, the tears. I was teared out in 2024. I'm just going to be real with you guys. So I did not do this pattern yet. Do I plan on doing it eventually? It's just I haven't done it yet. Okay, but let's go ahead and move over to the next pattern. Next up is 83.68. This one is your knit top and pant pattern. View A, View B, and View C are all 5 pattern pieces. View E is 4 pattern pieces. Now you guys know Brittany J. Jones did the sew along for this pattern. So you have 8368 and 8369 for both of those patterns, depending on woman or Mrs. sizes. Okay. Now, Miro is the one who did this pattern in this nice, lovely lime yellow. I told you guys, if you guys are not following her, go ahead and follow her on Instagram. All right. Let's get to the next pattern. It's 8392. Now this is like a sleepwear, loungewear style pattern. View B is 5 pattern pieces. And then view D and E are 3 pattern pieces. Now, who made this pattern, right? Amy from Almond Rock. So she just did this pattern in December as part of Chris's challenge, which was Soul Creek Christmas, I think is what it was called. She did it for that. But once again, this is Amy, Almond Rock Sews. On Instagram, she did this pattern. Highlight it, look beautiful in it. All right, let's get over to the next pattern. 8402. 8402. Now, all your views here are all 4 pattern pieces. Like, it is an easy to sew pattern. Boom. Like, and I believe like this one is a no notion pattern too. Write that down. Write that down. No notion for this pattern, 8402. All views are 4 pattern pieces. So that's a double. Okay, that's a double. Moving over to the next pattern is 8406, and this one is a Mrs. dress with sleeve and hemline variations. View C, okay? View C, this view right here is 5 pattern pieces. The other ones are not, sorry. But view C is 5 pattern pieces. Now, a couple of people who made this pattern, that's also 5 pattern pieces. Lorena, I keep telling you guys, like, Lorena, don't miss on these patterns. I keep telling y'all. And I think Lorena's favorite brand, and I'm going to ask her and come back and tell you guys, I think it's Mccall'S. I think she's really good with Mccall patterns. I think she sews a lot of Mccall patterns, honestly. But that's Lorena. Next up is Emma from Emma and Sews. She did this pattern as well. I love this on her. Yes. I love that floral on her. But once again, that's Emma. And then also you have Isis. Icy? I think it's Icy. Her name is Icy. But the reason why I'm sharing this is because I like the take on print on print. So she used 2 different prints to make this dress. Okay. I love this on her. All right. And she shared this with some of her friends or whatnot. But yeah, once again, this dress is 8406. Moving over to the next pattern, it's 8413. Brittany J. Jones did this pattern. We know this. This is a caftan pattern. All right. So all views are 3 pattern pieces, A, B, and C for this pattern. They are all 3 pattern pieces. Moving over to the next pattern, it's 8419. And 8419 is a bag pattern, okay? It's a tote bag. That's it. However, 8419, view A is 5 pattern pieces. View C is 4 pattern pieces. View D is 5 pattern pieces as well. And then view E, which is your bucket hat, is 3 pattern pieces. Bam. Okay? But once again, this pattern is 8419. Moving over to the next pattern is 8420, which is your shopping cart bags and coupon case. Now, back in the days, a little fun fact about me, I used to be a heavy couponer. Y'all remember the TV show that used to be on TLC called The Crazy Coupon Lady, or The Crazy Coupon, or Extreme Couponing, I think it's what it was. I was one of the people in there like this with coupons. I had my coupon book. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not going back to it, but I have not couponed like that since my son was in diapers. I want to say like 2017. So we are 8-year post. Okay. And with that, from time to time, I will have I do it digitally on Tarjay and all that stuff, but I do want these. And the reason why is I want these back simply because when I go to the grocery store, I could put them up there because I'm like OCD with organization. I will get mad at the cashier or the person who's bagging my groceries, when you put code items, right, with a box of cereal. Like, who taught you how to bag groceries? For those of you who are like in the grocery department, no offense, but please put code items together. It makes it easier for us when we get them home. But I figured if I have this, then I could definitely put it up on the little conveyor belt or whatever, have them scan it, and then put the bag back in the bucket, and then take it out to the car, and then they're all together. I know you saying, Rochelle, you OCD, get over it. Yep, I'm gonna kick rocks and get over it and build a bridge and get over that bridge too. But once again, this is 8420. I just thought to highlight this one because this is super cute. Moving over to the next pattern. Next up is 8476. This is also on my list in my hashtag So Lucky jar to sew this spring. I have an idea and I actually have an inspiration as well. But view A, let's get into it. View A is 5 pattern pieces. View C is 3 pattern pieces for this one. I didn't see anyone sew this pattern yet, but I'm going to be sewing this in the spring. But once again, it's 8476. Moving over to the last pattern. This is the last pattern. 8505. Okay, so everyone know that this is a Sew Your View pattern that they did. I want to say this pattern was a July, August time frame. I know my girl Stacy from So Stacy. She was the host. Actually, this was in August. There's a reason why. I remember it was August. But she was the host of Sew Your View for that month. And she did this pattern. Look amazing in it because she did it in yellow. And she did, I believe she did view C on this pattern, but did it in a yellow, which is 8505. All right. Now, before I get into who sewed it on Instagram, I want to say check out Stacy from Social Stacy. I'm gonna put her video thumbnail up here so you're able to see it, but check her video out on YouTube to see more detail. She's also did a full sew along for you on YouTube in order to see that. Okay, also check out Shelly from Shelly Shell did a pattern review, and she did hers in like this I think it was a print. I think it was an animal print, if I remember correctly. She did that pattern in like an animal print. She talked all about this pattern. And lastly, on YouTube, check out my girl C from Wasty Style. I don't even know if she did a pattern review or if she just shared it in like a reel. But yeah, definitely check her out, how she haven't wore that dress anywhere. What was she thinking? I'm going to have to talk to C about that. But anyway, and at any rate, let's get into some individuals who actually sewn this pattern and basically shared it on Instagram. First up, Rosie. Okay, Rosie Pena. I met her back in 2016 at the Mimi G conference. Yeah, Rosie did it in this black knit. Looks super cute, for sure. Next up is Salvation. I am she. Yes, you are. You she. She Salvation. Okay. So my girl Salvation did this pattern as well. Look amazing in it. Next up, Jazz from So Much Jazz. She did this one, and she actually did this as a hack. She talked about the hack that she did on Instagram. So make sure you go there so you're able to see that and see that hack that she did. Next up, Raven. Now, Raven also I think she have a dedicated video where she did a pattern review for this pattern. But once again, it's 8505. Also, Jamie from So Create by Jamie. She also makes shoes, y'all. Okay. She hacked it and made this dress look fabulous in it. So check that out on Instagram at So Create by Jamie. Also, May from May the Diva. I keep telling y'all she looks good in red. She made this pattern as part of Sew Your View for the month of August, of course. And she shared how she made it and have the Christmas tree up. I love this, love this, love this on May. All right. So she did a double take. She did it a second time, but she color blocked it in this red and pink. Look fabulous in it for sure. But once again, that pattern number is 8505. All right, well, there you have it. Those are all the McCall patterns that are 5 pattern pieces or less that I'm giving you guys for 2025. So you guys know what to do. If this video was educational, inspiring, and fun, you know what to do. Give your girl a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and I will catch you in the next video where I'm going to be sharing and closing out the last part of this one being the butterick pattern. So I'll catch you in the next one. And until then, keep sewing.